and we're not in court.
I have some problems with Donald Trump with the whole January 6th thing. I think he should have done more. I don't think he instigated, but I think he could have shut it down easier. We're in disagreement with that, but
I don't want to start any problems here between
No.
Oh, I'm a better arm wrestler.
But, I mean, all presidents are fallible. Everyone made a mistake. I would like to think he would learn from it, and our economy needs someone different than what we have now.
If you guys could speak to the person who's in charge now, Joe Biden, what would you say?
I'm sorry that you are an ill old man and people are taking advantage of you.
And don't run. That's what you say to him.
I don't think it's his choice. I think people are manipulating a man who's sick. I think it's elder abuse.
And what would you say to Joe Biden?
I would say just take care of America. Don't worry about other shores. Worry about us. Because, we should come first. It's our tax dollars that he just, unabashedly just throws away.
There are people, and I think close to Joe Biden says he does love America. It's just that he has a different view about how to protect America than conservatives or Donald Trump supporters.
America is America. You can't have one or another. We're all here together, and you should take care of America, not what you think is America.
Can I ask you a couple policy issues? Unions. What do you think of unions?
I'm probably going to be a conflict of interest on that one.
Are you a union member?
No, I'm an accountant for a lot of unions.
Oh, great. I mean, there's so you support unions.
I do.
Donald Trump does not support unions.
Okay, I don't have to agree with everything a president has.
That's true. Unions?
Non-union.
Non-unions.
Never been a union member. I was a union member when I was 16 years old, working for Safeway, grocery stores. And I just think unions protect people who don't really want to work hard.
So I'm really sitting here wondering how, when, and why do these two talk about politics together?
If you're an individual and you...
I see her pursing her lips over here, and she's stepping away. Let's move on, because I don't want to create any controversy. How about Medicaid?
I have insurance, so I don't need Medicaid, but if I depend on Medicaid, something's wrong, because I don't think it's a solvent thing. And I don't think it's something that you should be completely dependent on.
Medicaid?
I think we've paid in our whole lives. I think it should be there, and I think it's something that should be provided for any elderly person. And I think paying in, I think we should keep it going. We should keep it paying in, and maybe not as much the Social Security aspect, but definitely the Medicaid.
Corporations, do they have too much power in the United States?
Most definitely.
Of course they do.
Absolutely.
That's why they're a corporation.
Donald Trump gave them even more power.
Well, a lot of people don't understand. If you start a corporation, you provide thousands of jobs, or tens of thousands of jobs in some cases. Whereas if you aren't given the ability to have an opportunity to actually expand the business and so forth, how can you provide additional jobs?
Donald Trump cut the corporate tax rate, gave them even more money to keep then. Was that a mistake?
Absolutely not. I mean, because it's growing business, growing jobs. The more people who have jobs, they can go spend money, buy cars, buy homes.
Buy off members of Congress.
Members of Congress, that's another issue. If you give up a extremely lucrative private, business and go into politics and take a fraction of what you could make, something's wrong.
Well, here's my question, I guess, out of what I'm getting at. There's like Matt Gaetz says we got to get all the corporate money out of politics, that there's too much, PAC money, there's too much corporate lobbying that's going around. Do you agree with that?
100%. 100%. And as far as the tax rate goes, I do taxes for a living. There's so many credits and this and that. If you just look at when they say, the tax rate is this and the tax rate is this, by the time you take all the different credits and everything else that isn't the tax rate, it equalizes. I have a tough time on the size companies that I deal with telling them whether they should stay an S Corp or become a C Corp, because it really doesn't matter tax-wise. So that whole, cut the tax rate, yeah, and he didn't cut it for S Corps, but yet he gives them a big deduction. It's called a 1099A deduction, but they get that deduction. It all nets out.
The more you watch it, you're just like, I mean, do these two agree on anything at all? What's going on?
Real quick before I let you go, if it's not Donald Trump, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Chris Christie, Vivek Ramaswamy, any of those have any appeal to you?
Vivek does. You know,
How come?
well, I mean, he's a thinker. I mean, and it seems that, you know, he's somewhat wise beyond his years as far as, you know, projecting down the road and thinking that way. Ron DeSantis, I was really a Ron DeSantis fan, but he seems very wooden now.
Somebody who's not wooden is Marjorie Taylor Greene. Would she make a good vice president?
Oh, no. I think the Matt Gaetz, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Boebert, they all need to just go away because they're kind of ruining what the Republicans are actually trying to do.
I've always said people from Oklahoma make such great sense. Any Democrat that you would vote for other than Joe Biden? If Joe Biden wasn't the nominees, or any Democrat that would have any appeal to you?
I would love a Democrat with some economic sense, but that doesn't exist currently. So I don't have any options right now.
Robert Kennedy?
Potentially.
He's an independent now.
He's an independent, which appeals to me because I'm a little bit more middle of the road. You know, I like the Democratic policies, but I understand math.
But at the same time, I guess it is good and a little healthy to see a MAGA couple not look to one another for answers, to be able to have their own opinions. I mean, we need more of that in the country, so I guess there is a silver lining there. Despite the fact that Donald Trump has 91 felony charges and he's really, really in a bad position, and every single day he violates gag orders and what have you, Joe Biden is pretty much neck and neck with him. In fact, he's losing support among Arab Americans, among the Muslim American community, especially in key swing states. So we're going to have to watch and see how exactly he addresses this ceasefire issue. If he's going to call for a ceasefire, if he's just going to want a humanitarian pause, whatever that may be, Biden's really, really going to have to develop a strategy to make sure that he doesn't bleed those key swing voters that he really needs to cross the finish line. And his only hope really continues to be that Donald Trump keeps getting in trouble. He's essentially running against himself. Listen, if Joe Biden loses to Donald Trump, he really just lost to himself, because at the end of the day, look at the guy.